Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's KADIWORLDTV, and I'm back with another movie review. Today, I'm going to be talking about Mortal Kombat 2. Now, before I get into this review, I want you to understand something about me. So, I've been suffering from Mortal Kombat fatigue for a few years now because I feel like the last few projects has not been that great. The first movie that came out in 2021, MK1 and Chaos Reigns, that came out 3 to 4 years ago. I always lose count, but it recently came out, and I just remember being very disappointed. So, I checked out of MK, like I stopped playing the game completely and I moved on to other franchises. I feel like Mortal Kombat fell off hard. So when they announced the second movie, I literally checked out, wasn't interested. I didn't watch any of the trailers. I did not care about it whatsoever. But then Wednesday happened and the movie got a lot of positive reception, some negative receptions too, and I'm gonna get into that. And people were like praising the movie. IGN gave it an 8, IMDb gave it a 7. So I'm like, okay, these are decent scores. So I went opening night with low expectations. I saw it in IMAX. I feel like the movie is like a huge improvement, and it's also a apology letter to the fan base. So I low-key want to talk about it. I can proudly say that this movie in particular is better than most Mortal Kombat media, bruh. Dead ass. That's how much the movie surprised me, bruh. And that's how good it was. I low-key like the movie. But as you know, every movie isn't perfect. So we're going to get into that. I just want to let you know that this is a spoiler review. So if you haven't seen the movie, please click off and come back after you see it, or you just want to hear my opinion, that's also cool. So in this movie, I'll be talking about negatives, some shit I'm neutral about, some nitpicks, the positives, and the conclusion. So if this is your first time here, I'm going to get straight into the negatives because I don't like focusing on the bad shit. My first negative is, and ooh, y'all might hate me for this one, but I feel like at times the comedy felt really forced and it felt like really like try hard, especially with Johnny Cage because he's supposed to be the comic relief, but I feel like some of his jokes really didn't hit. I think the only joke that hit for me was where he said people wanted to see John Wick kill people with pencils and shit. But some of the other jokes, it just felt very try hard. Oh, and I also did like the joke when he called Baraka a pussy and then he ended up fighting him instead of Liu Kang, I believe. That was pretty funny, but I ain't gonna lie, most of the comedy was just not it. The only person that was funny to me for real was Kano, and that was very low expectational because much as I don't like the first film that came out in 2021, he was funny as shit the entire movie, like literally every scene. So the fact that Kano is funnier than Johnny Cage, that's a problem to me, is my opinion. It wasn't funny. Like it felt very MCU humor. I didn't fuck with that. Like this is Mortal Kombat. And I get that the humor is supposed to be cheesy because Johnny Cage is like a cheesy person, but I don't know, it was just washed as humor and I didn't really like it like that. But that's the first negative. The second negative is the repetitive gore. Although in this movie they wasn't afraid to show violence, but I really felt like it got repetitive. For example, like Shao Kahn got his hammer, right? And he just fucking everybody up. I think he kills like 3 people the exact same way, you know, with the end of his hammer, like he stabs them and shit. I'm like, this is very repetitive. Like he could have did some of the fatalities like from MK9 when I think he picks you up and then throws the hammer at you. If I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna put the correct fatality because I might be wrong. It's been a minute since I played that game. Or he could have did the fatality from MK11 when he fucking stabs you and brings you up and it just slices you in half. Like he could have did so much shit, but they just kept playing it safe by doing the little stabby stab. I'm like, that shit whack. You know what I'm saying? That's my second negative. And then this is my last one. I don't really have a lot of negatives. Like most of my shit is in a neutral, but I really don't like how Shang Tsung takes a back seat. I don't know if they're saving him for the third movie. They talked about Shinnok's amulet, so he might be the villain, but I'm just like, I'm tired of seeing my boy taking a back seat. I need you to fuck shit up. Like, yeah, he killed Kung Lao in the first movie, but that's not enough. Like, I need you to do some work, my boy. So yeah, that's all the negatives. So now I'm about to get into the neutral. And keep in mind, right, I'm 50-50 on everything I'm about to say because I even got some shit that people liked from the film, but I'm just like, I like it, but then again, I don't. So I'm gonna get into it. And the first one was Johnny Cage. Y'all saw this coming. Carl Urban did just okay. And I know what they was trying to do. They was trying to show like an older Johnny Cage. He's more washed. Nobody really cares about him. Much as I love MK1, they did that way better. Like Johnny Cage is going broke basically. He got this big ass mansion. His wife leaves him. Like they did that way better, bro. And then, although I won't lie, Urban does look like Johnny Cage in most scenes and act just like him, but I don't know. Like I feel like they still should have got the Miz or the dude who played Hawkeye. Like some of his scenes are very like underwhelming. And I also blame the writer because just like the certain jokes that the writer gave him, I'm just like, okay, this is not it. You know what I'm saying? He does shine, don't get it twisted, but I'm just like, I could have did more with Johnny Cage, bro. Like, that's one of my favorite characters, bro, after Sub-Zero. Now, the second one is that the story is really not that strong. I have it in the neutral because I personally don't care. It's Mortal Kombat. Why would you come to Mortal Kombat for a story, you silly fucking goose? I just care about the mindless fun, the lore, the Easter eggs. I don't really care about the story. Long as it's very consistent at what it does, entertain you, and the movie was very entertaining, so that's why that's in the neutral. Now y'all might hate me for this one, but some of the fights were boring. A prime example was Johnny Cage versus Baraka, and I get it, it was like a cute little prank. This is another thing I forgot to mention with Johnny Cage. This is like their second or third time doing this shit where they just have Johnny Cage as like a regular person. Like, I'm so tired of them taking away the green energy. I'm tired of them taking that away, bro. Like, I like seeing Johnny Cage with his powers, bro. That shit is hard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he does the shadow kick at the end. I'm gonna get to that later. Please just leave him alone. Just keep him with the green power. And I get it. That's not what makes him special, but I personally like that. So please stop removing that shit. MK1, I'm talking about you, you bitch ass nigga. And another fight that was kind of boring, but it picked up at the end was the Sonya versus Sindel shit. I just remember getting bored at some point, but it got great at the end. The score in this movie was just Sometimes the score really did shine though, especially the Kung Lao versus Liu Kang fight. But for the rest of the movie, it just really sounded forgettable. Like, I don't remember a single thing other than that scene in particular. Like, I remember the Liu Kang versus Kung Lao fight. The soundtrack at the time was like very Mission Impossible-esque. All right, so that's everything I'm neutral about. And now I'm about to get into the nitpicks. And keep in mind, the nitpicks don't ruin the movie. It's just some personal shit that I pointed out and I'm just like, but you know what I'm saying? It's still great. Now, the first nitpick is Shao Kahn didn't do any taunts. Like, he could have easily did some where he was fighting Katana or Cole Young, especially that fight when they was in the Deadpool. He could have instantly pointed at his bitch ass and say, "You worthless nigga." But it's all right. The second nitpick is not enough rating, but at the same time, one problem that I forgot to mention with this movie, but it really don't bother me, so this is kind of a nitpick. The movie focuses on too many characters at once. Like, literally, I want to say like a MK2 roster full of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too many people to focus on. But I feel like they cut out Raiden and Shang Tsung so they can focus on other characters like Johnny Cage and Katana, Liu Kang. Like, those were the most important people out this movie, if you ask me personally. Another nitpick is that the movie moves too fast. But like I said, it's Mortal Kombat. Who cares about a fucking story? We just want to see niggas get their ass whooped. We want to see heads get chopped off. But sometimes I'm like, slow down, because I was really enjoying the movie, but I'm just like, this movie goes too fucking fast. Slow down. I'm willing to wait for the bus, because at this bus I could be getting my dick sucked. I could probably go to the 7-Eleven, get me a slushie, and I see on my watch that the bus comes in 20 minutes. I could be jamming out to some music while I wait for this bus, but it's just like, if it just comes and goes, it's just like, bro, now the ride pause is not even satisfying. So I'm just like, slow down. That shit is irritating, bro. You're not gonna lose my attention, because I get it. We're in a generation where a lot of people attention spans are cooked. But if I'm spending money to see a movie, trust and believe I'm gonna have my whole attention on it. Yeah, gang, like, it moves too fast. Slow the fuck down. We ain't going nowhere. Now, this is also a nitpick, but I still like the scene. But the Baraka versus Johnny Cage fight, not only is it like boring, but it drags on for too long. Like, I think I mentioned earlier, is like, I get it's a prank, but it's just like, oh my God, like, please wrap this shit up. I don't really care that much, you know what I'm saying? And I don't like seeing Johnny Cage not use his powers, or at least fight. Well, I get it. It was MCU humor, bro. I get what y'all was doing, but yeah, that's all the nitpicks I have for this movie. Now we about to get into the holy fucking grails of this movie, bro. The fact that I can possibly talk about an MK movie is incredible. I don't know if it's a fever dream or we in an alternate timeline, but I literally hate every single Mortal Kombat movie except for the animated films. Those don't really count. The first positive I have about this movie is the improvements from the first film. The first movie pisses me off because it's just like, they had this little subplot about the tattoo. I forgot what they called it. I put it on the screen when I Google it. But they had like this tattoo, and I'm just like, this is fucking stupid. The first movie looked like a cheap ass Tubi movie. I'm just like, what the fuck am I watching, bro? The fucking special effects pissed me off in the first movie. The movie was fucking boring. Like, I don't like that film. You know what I'm saying? I even forced myself to rewatch it because I was like, fuck it, let me refresh my memory. But it's a reason why I watched that shit one time. And then on top of that, the MK movies never really embraces the video game. Like, it's just like, all right, we got this movie that's based off this video game, but we're not gonna make it about the video game, if that makes sense. I don't give a fuck how many fatalities you do or y'all saying flawless victory, it don't feel like Mortal Kombat. The second movie feels like Mortal Kombat. It really embraces the video game, and I love it. Like, the movie is literally stripped from a video game that never came out, and it was like, instead of just making this a video game, how about we just film this in real life? You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate that. Another positive about this movie is the structure of the film. Literally, after watching this movie, I feel like this is how NetherRealm should structure their story mode. Instead of focusing on one character, just focus on multiple, bruh. Just for narrative purposes, because I feel like if you just have one character, and I'm not talking about those tag team fucking chapters where you move the analog stick to pick the character. No, literally focus on multiple characters. Don't have like 4 fights, maybe have like 6, 7. Oh, I said 6, 7, oh my God. But literally expand the story mode and just don't focus on a character. Like, if you want a chapter about Johnny Cage, that's cool, but literally focus on every other character. And I feel like that's what this movie was doing very well at. So thank you with that. Another positive is the CGI. Like, I ain't gonna lie, this movie is a CGI fest, but it really don't bother me. I think the only time where it does bother me just a little bit is Raiden's lightning. But everything else is great. The blood looks great. Kung Lao's hat looked great. Jade's staff looked great. And I saw it in IMAX, so I don't know if it looks different compared to regular. Let me know if you saw it and if it was some CGI like problems, but I didn't really notice anything. And then on top of that, like, if it is bad CGI, I think it just plays into how silly Mortal Kombat is, because, you know, the wobble, and I'm gonna get into that too. If it was bad CGI, I think I just passed it off like, okay, this is silly Mortal Kombat lore, and I just moved on. Based off what I remember, it was pretty great. Another positive, what I have about the movie, is how they did the tournament. Instead of having everybody come to like one setting, they would just teleport 2 people from opposing sides and just put them in one arena. And I thought that shit was hard, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And then like whoever lose, the side flame will go out. I thought that shit was tough. That was another positive for me. Now, another thing I want to talk about is the fan service. Like I said earlier, this was a apology letter to the fans. And so they had all these little cute little Easter eggs sprinkled throughout the movie, and I really appreciate it. I didn't catch every Easter egg, but this is what I caught. If you see the movie in IMAX, right, the scene where Shao Kahn and Cole Young fight, the camera would literally pan out and it would show like life bars, and I thought that shit was hard. I ain't gonna lie, I screamed in the theater. This dumbass kid with glasses looked at me for like 5 seconds. I'm just like, bitch, watch the movie. This ain't for you. You don't even know anything about Mortal Kombat. Some scenes in this movie look like it's transitioning from a cutscene to gameplay. Like especially the scene where they're at the Tarkatan camp. I thought that was really great. The goofy ass wobble you see in the Johnny Cage versus Katana fight. He literally gets up slowly and wobbles like a zombie and then fall because Katana spared him and didn't do a fatality. Like, it was great. When Shao Kahn did his shoulder charge, that shit gave me PTSD. That was cool. When Johnny Cage does his shadow kick, although that shit wasn't earned, I'm gonna be honest, but I still like seeing that. Shinnok's amulet was a great subplot. You see stages like the Deadpool, the Portal, and the Tarkatan camp. And speaking of the Deadpool, I like how Shao Kahn did like his own fatality and then fucking did a stage fatality on Cole Young. That shit was tough. And speaking of Cole Young, I'm not really mad that he died. I don't really care for him. I'm really mad that they didn't cast him as like Kenshi or somebody else. He could have played Kuali Yang, if anything. I don't know. They literally just wasted talent. So hopefully they'll bring him back in the third movie and, you know, try to do something new with his character. But yeah, good riddance. Nobody gives a fuck about Cole Young, bro. But yeah, that's all the Easter eggs, the characters that I really loved in this film. The first character is Kung Lao. Look, this nigga was on straight bullshit. This nigga literally came out the woodworks, threw that hat and sliced his Raiden neck, put his ass to sleep. And then the Kung Lao and Liu Kang fight was generational. This fight had me on the edge of my fucking seat, bruh. The choreography was great. And, you know, just seeing him throw that hat, you can literally tell that Liu Kang was like fighting for his fucking life, bruh. In this movie, he wasn't playing no fucking games. He was on straight bullshit. Shao Kahn was also on straight bullshit. Although I said that it was very repetitive on how he was packing niggas up, that nigga was straight on bullshit, man, and I appreciated every second of him doing that. Now with Katana, I'm not really mad that she beat Shao Kahn. Like, I get why people want Liu Kang to beat him, but this is Katana's story, and I always wanted to see her win. Even with MK11, like, that's one of my favorite chapters in NetherRealm history. The fact that she was able to pack Shao Kahn up, like, I love seeing that shit. And I like the fact that she becomes Katana Kahn again for the 3rd time. That was great to see. And last but not least, Jade. Although she didn't have a lot of screen time, I just loved seeing her fine ass on screen, man. Like, oh my God. She was badass. She was funny, fine as fuck. Like, bro, she had my heart the entire movie, man. And it's a bunch of incels online complaining, talking about some, why she's bald? Why she look like that? It's not comic accurate. Shut your bitch ass up. You probably don't get no pussy. You probably don't know what pussy look like. I'm so tired of men coming online always talking about women shouldn't look like this. Women shouldn't look like that. Nigga, you're zesty. I don't have a problem with that if you like men, but it's just like, please stop shaming other women in the process. It's very annoying. But yeah, bro, she just fine as hell, man. And y'all niggas probably talking about some, she ain't gonna let you hit, bro. Shit. You never know. For all jokes aside, Jade is my favorite female character. Just to see her in the movie at all is just great to me. But yeah, Tati, call me. I ain't gonna lie, call me. Let's talk about some things. I really was going to talk about the fights because the fights were badass, except for like two of them. My favorite fight is obviously the Kung Lao versus Liu Kang. And the second fight, although I don't like the way it ended, everybody stepped in and shit. But when Scorpion was fighting Noob Saibot, that shit was hard, bro. Like, just seeing these two niggas duke it out in another realm, like, that shit was tough, bro. I can't find the game. I've been trying to find it, but I know it's a meme where Scorpion swings in another realm on his spear like Spider-Man. Like, he did that again in this movie, and it made me laugh. Like, I just love how the movie embraces the silly aspects of Mortal Kombat. So yeah, that was great. So yeah, that's all my positives. Now here's my conclusion. In conclusion, I feel like this movie was a great revival to the series. I had a lot of fun. It was very entertaining. This gave me hope for the franchise, so I hope to see more. Some things do need to get improved, like Johnny Cage and some of the fights, but for the most part, I had a great time. And yeah, I'm giving this movie a 8.5 out of 10. Great watch. I'm happy with the film. This is probably like my favorite video game movie of all time, if I'm being honest. Like, you can see the heart and charisma that's embedded in this film. But yeah, man, that's my opinion. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and share if you haven't. And yeah, man, peace.